Hi everyone, it's Lisa from Barclay Jones, and I've got a lovely Rose with me today. Talking about what we know, actually, the three things that we do, and I'm not going to go to a massive pitch today, but if you're not used to us, what you see is what you get. We're quite excitable creatures in recruitment, and we bring that into all of our projects, which could be recruitment training, 1 minute, it could be screening and monetizing the screen, it could be Bullhorn training, and not just becoming an expert on Bullhorn, but knowing when to weaponize it. So you might not need as much LinkedIn, you probably don't need to advertise your job. That's the kind of thing we're interested in. Speed and power. Bullhorn First for us is a really big deal. We do lots of vision projects where we help clients realize their business's vision using Bullhorn. And automation, don't get me started. We've got a webinar about that on Monday, but we do a lot of stuff on automation, and Rose certainly helps our clients really monetize their processes, their data, and help their recruiters become more effective with automation. Throughout this webinar and throughout any webinars that you have with us, I want you to be thinking, but most of my clients are gearing up for first. Yeah, in it to source first, in it to develop business first, in it to account manage, in it to manage your staff and yourselves first. That's the ideal goal, I personally think, because LinkedIn and job boards make a crazy amount of money from when you don't use it first. When you advertise jobs when you don't need to, because BD shouldn't be hard, but unfortunately the stats are very much against us. Yeah, often when we're doing BD, we might be working the lead, or maybe the lead is working us. And that might be something to think about. We should be working the right lead and converting opportunities. We should not be wasting time. I've yet to meet a recruitment leader who comes to me and says, Lisa, can you train my recruiters to not be very effective? But sometimes that is what is happening every day in a recruitment business. I want you to be thinking about how she's going to help you generate more time, convert more opportunities. Ultimately, for those that rare breed of recruiters these days, and I'm being ironic and maybe sarcastic, that want to earn a bit of money, what actually gets in the way of great business development? Tell me, share with me your fears or your dreams or the reality check.
Thank you. Fantastic. So this is just a quick overview of the type of things I'm going to show you today. We'll get stuck into it straight away. So the first tip of today for business development is desired categories and skills. One of my favourite, well, all of these things are my favourite things on Bullhorn, otherwise I wouldn't be saying them, would I? But for me, desired categories and skills is one of the things that I see sometimes lots of clients don't use. In fact, I've seen a client recently who's it's disappeared off the system, so they don't even know it's there. So it'd be interesting to know if you guys use it or not. But this is a real key thing within how Bullhorn codes up their contacts on the system if you're not using it already and you're completely new to it. So you put on your sales contact record who they desire. It's not about what they do, it's what kind of candidates they desire. And the outcome of that is you can then, if you get that lovely data on your system, that's really brilliant for business development, because every time you've got a candidate that you want to market out, and when I say market out, it doesn't have to be e-shops. A lot of people say to me, Rose, we don't e-shop, we're not heavy e-shop business. I'm dealing with executives, e-shops don't land very well. It doesn't have to be e-shops. It can be just bringing up a list for you to review to make sure you've not forgotten anybody. It can just be bringing up a list of contacts that you might want to make some calls to. And don't forget, getting this kind of data on your system, it helps you and it helps your colleagues, but potentially if you've got people working in the marketing parts of your business and so on, and you're looking to nurture audiences more and target communications to audiences better, then having this kind of data on sales contacts just makes that a whole lot easier for everybody. So it's one of my favourite things really in Bullhorn, I must admit. What we can see on the little video here in the background is we're just running a really simple desired category search for contacts within a particular, coded as a particular contact, so a particular category, sorry. So those are all the contacts that would look to potentially recruit a candidate within that area. We've only done it on category as a quick how-to, but if you've got this set up, you might add some more skills in there as well and really refine it down to get a really good target list in the background. Lovely. So tip number 2 is converting your candidates to contacts as well. So this is again a little bit of a process thing. Maybe it's a little bit of habit forming. Maybe if you've got automation, this might be something, a little tip here might be something that you want to add to your placement automation to remind your recruiters to do at the end of the process. But again, things that I see that often recruiters forget to do or don't think to do when a candidate is placed is Should they then convert that candidate into a sales contact? That's now somebody you've got a positive relationship with, that they're on really good terms with you, you've just worked with them. Now, granted, you're not going to jump all over them and ask for jobs straight away, but you've got that relationship there. And in Bullhorn, it's so easy to take a candidate record, a couple of clicks, and convert it into a contact record. So just start thinking about that when you're making your next placement. If you're not doing it already, should I be literally flipping this candidate into a sales contact record? And then you're not losing the data from their perspective. And as the video is showing in the background, it's really, really easy. Jump onto the actions menu, choose create linked contact, fill in a couple of details, and away you go. Nice and easy and super simple. Super. So the third tip for me is contact statuses. So, we're talking about business development today. And for me, statuses on Bullhorn, again, often businesses, clients don't necessarily use them. They kind of bypass them. Or what's the point? I don't really understand what they do. But for me, this is the real sales funnel part. This is an indication of where this particular client contact is within their sales journey with you. So, we have common ones of somebody's active, somebody might be classed as passive, and so on. So, and using this information and getting this data on the system, again, really helps you target those audiences. And coming back to what I said a little bit earlier with the desired categories and skills, if you've got, as a business, you're trying to think of how you can engage and nurture audiences of contacts going forward into the future, this will really help as well. If you can clearly look at Bullhorn and say, well, we've got a passive set of contacts here, you might give them a slightly different message to, let's say, an active set of contacts who you've currently got work and jobs on with. So for me, status is super, super simple, as a lot of these things are, but can add tremendous amount of value if you get that data. If you get them sorted and defined, and then you get that data on the system, they can massively help. And if you've got automation, you can automate some of your statuses as well. I'll leave that thought with you. Fourth tip from us is tasks. I am a huge bit of a task nut when it comes to, I'm very much a list person. If I don't write it down, I tend to forget that I need to do it. But, and recruitment is, you've got so much to do every day. You're jumping from thing to thing. There's tons of things going on. The phone rings, you get disturbed. You have to make calls, you go into meetings. Tasks for me is an absolutely brilliant way to manage those business development calls or account management calls or any other calls that you've got to make and you don't want to forget, really. So don't lose any deals. Don't forget to keep in regular contact with the people that you're trying to build relationships with. And one of the easiest ways to get those reminders is get them on Bullhorn as a task. Yeah.
Can I jump in there, Rosie?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah.
As well. So in terms of tasks and automation, some of our clients have got automation right now. How would you automate the task process?
Yeah, so
a couple of ideas.
Yeah. So within automation as a step, a certain step, it can fling a task on Bullhorn. So whether that's be maybe after placement and you wanting to check in with the contact to make sure everything's going okay, or anything like that, you could just literally drop a task in and it'll just fire it into Bullhorn. It goes into the recruiter's task pad. It goes on that particular record as well. And there you go, and you get the reminders. If you've got the settings in Bullhorn in the background to even email you a reminder, a lot of people don't realise that tasks can do that. It actually can email you a reminder to say, oh, you're supposed to be doing this today. Yeah, so they're a really, really fantastic way to keep on task.
33% of you said that lack of process was the thing that's holding BD back, and what Rose was showing from a task perspective is an absolute objection handler straight away. And then you add on to that, if you're not organised enough to manage your own or add your own tasks, at least Rose has got some ideas around automation as well. Sorry, I'll carry on.
No, it's fine. And the screenshot that you can see in the background, another thing, if you haven't seen it on Bullhorn, after this session, definitely go and have a look. For those of you who might be using tasks, or if you're not already, again, something that I see people don't realise that they can do is what you can see on the screen at the moment. You can schedule reoccurring tasks. If you were using Outlook, you call it a reoccurring task. You can do exactly the same in Bullhorn. You've just got to scroll a bit further down the screen. So if Lisa's my sales contact, my passive sales contact, or my, my new sales contact, that prospect that I want to build a relationship with, I can set a reoccurring 2 weekly task on her record to basically just keep on her, ring her every 2 weeks until I get that relationship. So just bear that in mind as well. Scroll a bit further down and you'll see those options on the screen. Fabulous. Advanced note searching as well is a great tool for business development, also account management as well. It's great for, but if you want to look at the contacts that you've got on Bullhorn and figure out who you haven't called recently with a certain note type, then this is fantastic for doing that. And the example that we've got on the next screen here is we've coupled that with a hot list. So if you're building hot lists within Bullhorn of, maybe we've got an example here of target contacts. So you might have a couple of different lists for contacts, maybe in slightly different areas, slightly different sectors, whatever it might be, that you can actually search a note or to not have a note within a hot list. So here's my list of 100 key contacts that I'm working with. They're in the hot list, and I'm going to quickly run an advanced note search within that list. So I'm not looking at the entire database. I'm looking within my specific list and saying, show me the ones that I haven't logged a call with recently. And then again, that's going to bring that list up nice and easy. And then you can start making those calls and getting in touch with people again. Fantastic. And then finally, last but not least, our automation bonus tip is there's an automation out there. Again, if you guys have got it and you haven't seen it yet, go have a look in your automation list. It's what we call a blueprint, which you can then tailor. But there is an automation that can automatically send a message to a sales contact once you've made a call. So we know in recruitment, it might be that if you've got specific BD time in the day, or however you run your BD and manage it, if you're making calls, I saw this on a client yesterday, actually, they've got a particularly new recruit and they're making a lot of calls, but they're hitting voicemails quite a lot, which is a bit frustrating. But so we're getting that voicemail call note logged on Bullhorn, which is great because we can see that action's been taken. Now, if you've got automation, you can get automation to automatically email that sales contact with a lovely little message. You know, sorry, I tried to get in touch with you earlier, I couldn't get through, blah, 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 blah. Here's all my details, here's my LinkedIn, here's my number, ring me back. Automation can do that for you. So rather than this person having to fling out that email every single time he hits a voicemail, automation is just picking that up and sending it. So it's just a massive, massive time saver, but it's keeping you in the mind's eye of the client, isn't it? You haven't just left a voicemail, they've got something to look at as well off the back of that. So that's a really good one here.
The stats about voicemails as well are pretty shocking so far, as most people don't even listen to voicemails now. So it's as much as a lot of recruiters will quite happily leave them, the reality is those voicemails, it's like they say that 80% of content on the internet we never even see, but still we churn out even more. And it's actually about being incredibly effective and being in the right, and what automation will at least help you do is be in the right place at the right time. That's quite exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. And just as we were mentioning before, and Lisa asked about how you could use tasks within automation, you can see, I don't know if you can spot it right now, just that screen grab then when we went down, there was a create task option. So this automation is picking up on the fact that a voicemail's been left, it's waiting a little bit of time, it's flinging an email at that person, and then it's also adding a task to Bullhorn as well. So you don't have to add the task, but it's kind of doubling up so you don't forget that you need to, you know, keep on top of that particular contact. Excellent. And those are our lovely 6 tips for today.
Okay, so as much as you might be doing some of these, and we always say to the clients that we train and coach, and when we do these webinars, if you came to us and you didn't know any of those, or you didn't know any of those 6 tips, we'd genuinely be wondering what you've been doing. Yeah. So we always say, humorous, we might just reignite something that you already know. We might just help you straighten your spine so you start engaging with stuff in a more deep and meaningful level. For your intel there, everybody. Now, for obvious reasons, I'm on a mission to get everyone that I can onto Recruitment HIIT. Fantastic little LMS. It's got just the right amount of content. I've seen other LMS out there that I've got so much content, recruiters don't even know where to start. This content has been specifically designed for recruitment consultants and leaders and resources. It's all about what's in it for me, i.e. what's in it for you. It's got Bullhorn, analytics, automation, LinkedIn, and all of our recruitment, permanent recruitment, temp recruitment training, all sorts of really interesting sales tips, right down to how to use MSTs to score. That's what I'm interested in, those kinds of tips. If you don't have a HIIT license, sign up for a free trial. On to the next slide. Remember as well, we're not just here to train, we are absolutely here to help clients realise their Bullhorn vision. This is one of my most favourite clients. His name's Ty. And when we finished our vision with him, this is exactly what he said. And I just went, thank you for that. I'm taking that and putting it in a graphic and showing everyone. I've made a t-shirt for us, Rose. What do you think?
Definitely.
I think it's the best money I've ever spent. Why not? Why not start using Bullhorn as if it's going to make you money? God forbid. Next slide, please. And obviously we love automation. And the main reason Rose and I love automation is because when we go back to 1874, when we first started working together, we didn't have automation, did we, Rose? And life was very, very dull.
Yeah.
Dirty data, unhappy recruiters, candidates and clients going, I never hear from these people. I might as well just work with every other recruiter that calls me. And now we work with clients and we train them and we coach them and we build automation to help them ultimately make more money. One of our most recent successes is within a week of starting with one automation client recently, we uncovered 1,200 sales leads in their Bullhorn system within a week. I'll take that. That's nice. I mean, obviously the challenge now is to get them all covered. But what a lovely problem to have. Enjoy whatever time you have left this week. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you on our webinar on Monday, which is fixated on how to make sure that you don't blow loads of money on LinkedIn Recruiter and job boards, and you weaponize your time and your data using automation. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Take care. Bye.